begin. I'm Ashima. I will be conducting the class, and anything pertaining to teaching will be done by me. The helper is only limited to help the child pack or use the loo. So now I'll tell you what do we do in the class. The class is divided into three parts in English. You'll have comprehensions, grammar, and creative writing. Creative writing is the most fundamental part of this class. So, by comprehensions, we have fiction and non-fiction passages, and then we go about covering a lot of elements in terms of you know um, understanding the beginning and ending of a sentence. What if your answer is in the middle or just a phrase, or how is it that we go about to frame a particular answer, because not every given answer is going to be like a cut copy paste thing. So the children get into that habit of a reading, all right, because reading tends not to be fluid. Comprehensions enable us to develop that habit of reading, exposure to a lot of different genres, because it is catering to fiction and non-fiction, so the kids get an idea, or probably they're forced to read a lot, and that way develop a habit and get into the groove of it. Now over here, how we go about with the comprehension is also the comprehensions will be catering to different kinds of questions. You have direct questions, you have true and false, you have tick, you have arranging, you have framing, and so that they know that okay, what kind of things are asked while you're solving a comprehension. To just give you a dummy, this is like a sample that we done in class. So I've just taken up small part of it. So as you can see, we go about with A1, A2, if you see the brackets. So that's how we go about finding an answer in the comprehension. After reading the passage, the kids are asked to look for the answers. I do not help them that, okay, let's just mark this and write that. And every child has to answer. It's like a game thing. You get a point for every time you answer. So this way it helps them to participate, to read. Otherwise they'll end up getting very dependent. You find, you do. All right, so this is really important. Also, if you see the ordering, it's not necessary that every answer should be side by side. It could be up, it could be down, it could be in the middle. So this will enable them to be focused on reading, because you know what some kids do, because grade 1 grade 2 the answers are a little bit easier. Some of them read the question and then try to find the same words to get the answer. So that is one habit which we have to completely knock off. Furthermore, even small details, like you don't start a sentence with a pronoun. You always use the name of the character when you're beginning. So over here, if it's written, what did Ram sell in his shop? My answer was, he sold reading glasses in his shop. But if you see that we've cancelled he over here, because you know that we don't start an answer with a pronoun. We use the character's name to give clarity to what you are answering. Okay. Then we move about to grammar. Now, grammar for this age group is extremely fundamental, because look, English is not our mother tongue. There are a lot of elements in grammar which are essential to go ahead and do creative writing. Otherwise, creative writing is not possible. Sentence structures, tense change, everything becomes a big problem. Furthermore, when we do grammar, it's also taught to them in a way that we can connect it with our sentence making. Like, you'll normally see that if a child is doing proper nouns and common nouns, okay? So when only a grammar part will be asked, they'll know, okay, proper noun, capital letter, and common noun, small. But when you see that in a sentence, it's disappearing. Everything is like, small as per they want. So the minute we do a grammar topic, we also will connect it to, like, it could come like a story, it could come like a paragraph, so that you understand that it's not limited to only when grammar is asked. It has to become your fundamental core, the way you speak, the way you write. It has to reflect upon everything. Also, everything in the class, once we are done with the explanation, the worksheet that is given is solved by the child. So there are times when you might see he or she might have not finished the whole worksheet. Please don't panic. It's really important for them to do it independently, rather than me helping them to complete it quickly. So this way what happens is they learn to understand and do their work on their own. You might have a little teething issue in the middle, but trust me, it's a matter of few weeks and then they are good to go. All right. So whatever you see is happening in their worksheets, it's all them. There is no help given unless it's gone wrong. Okay. Now, as I told you, we reflect on every element of grammar in your creative writing as well. Now it comes up to the part of creative writing. Creative writing is really important. Now, how do we induce creative writing? The kids are exposed to a lot of vocabulary. Then, for grade one, we expose them to a writing style which is called similes as well. And then we incorporate them in our creative writing. Now, how do we go about doing that? So vocabulary is where we just come across new words. Like, okay, for beautiful, I might have done gorgeous. And for nice, I might have done glorious, splendid, marvelous. They introduce these words in doses while we are in class. So this understanding part, it all happens in class. After that, they are replaced, they're given certain words to change it with the new words. Like, for example, assume we've written a write up on myself. Okay. So for a girl, she would say, I am a gorgeous girl. For a boy, he would say, I am a dashing boy. All right. Then we introduce, then they are given to it in the form of spellings. The day we are learning something new, that day they get homework because these words cannot be spelled phonetically, all of them. Some are phonics, some are not. So, apart from learning it in class, that day they are given how to spell it. After spelling, we start with basic, just changing the basic word. Then we move to sentences. Then we move to paragraphs. So this way they understand how to do it. And on top of it, they are encouraged to use it at home. So, even if you know the meanings of a few things, please act surprised that, wow, what does it mean? So that the child is further encouraged to talk to you this way. And that much I guarantee you, in grade 1 itself, they will know a few more vocabulary words than what you already do. That is there for sure. But it's really important that whatever we do in class, please ensure it is normally done in a book. All the creative writing assignments we write in a book that we provide in the class. It's really important that a child is reading that book at least thrice a week. Why? Because see, the kind of vocabulary we pick up is not something we speak in everyday life. Okay, like if I've seen something, you will say, it's a nice toy, okay, let's buy it. Isn't it so nice? That nice, nice, nice is everywhere. So when the child is exposed to something new, only when we are going back to it to and fro will it become a way of life. To a point where they'll start correcting you that, Mama, no, this is glorious, or no, no, this is marvelous. So it's really important that you encourage that whatever we are writing in class is read. That way they will be forced to, because you'll always be given a homework assignment based on whatever new we have done, so that they get into that practice and habit of applying it. After this, okay, we all similarly we introduce similes. Now similes is when I'm comparing one quality to the other. For example, let's say the bag is as light as a feather, or mother is as pretty as a princess, father is as busy as a bee. So now when we reach this step, we show them how to go further. Like if I say the park was big, the child can say the park was as big as an airport. But now we also teach them how we can combine a simile and vocabulary together. Like the park was as huge as an airport. So these are the baby steps in which they are taught. Again, now for similes also, after we do it in class, they are first given a basic assignment. You have busy, what is the simile of busy? You have tall, what is the simile for tall? Now over here, see beautiful, it's written use the new words. That means you know a better word for here. So use a simile but replace the word. So it's like a step-by-step guidance as to how, they understand the application. Knowing is different, but using it on your own is very different. And then again, in the form of a sentence, we go about replacing, and then we have picture stories. We have a lot of picture stories in the course of time, where then they learn how to use each word and make sentences on their own. Now these sentences would be a mixture of, vocabulary as well, simile as well. So this is a practice that happens every week. Hence, it's really important that from your end, that the reading bit at home is taken care of. Because trust me, till the age of 8, they can absorb immensely, and it's not difficult for them. So don't panic that, will my child really be able to do so much, or will he or she be able to, cope up? There is nothing like that. In fact, it's a very easy transition, because it's when we are doing a particular topic, it's repeated. It goes on repeating. So say if day one you learned, okay, nice is glorious. Then week two, you add a new word, splendid. So, by the end of the month only, it's a very regular and normal word for them. It's nothing difficult, or it's nothing, new or difficult for them to go through. And also, whatever homework, they will be given homework, whatever homework is provided, all right, do not help them, or unless they're not able to read a word or something. Because see, what happens is, when you all help, I don't want them to get dependent. The way we do things in the class is that they will be given only that what is their capacity to do, and the homework is also explained to them. So in case if the child is forgot, okay, how to go about with the homework, please ask for the video. The video will be shared. But do not, even if the child says, I don't know how to do it, leave it. Let it be blank and come back to me. It's really important that the teaching is left between me and the child, rather than more people get involved, because it's not necessary that our ways would match, or it wouldn't be necessary that what I'm trying to do and what the other person is trying to do would be the same. Yeah. So only thing I need from y'all is the reading bit. Now I have only one batch per age. So of course there will be times when, I mean, if the child is absent and not able to make it, in that case I cannot offer you a compensation, because there is no other batch. But that day class, we record all our sessions. That day's video will be shared with you. And suppose if the child did not comprehend, or there are doubts, it's okay. I will clarify the doubts. I will explain the child again. But say if you're absent on a Monday, and I can't promise that, okay, Wednesday I'll sort that out for you. It depends on how we are going with the flow. But rest assured, I will look into it, because I prefer it being between me and the student, rather than somebody else and the student. Yeah, the only thing that we really need to be aware of is the reading bit. In the term, we'll have two exams. One will be before Diwali and one is March. Again, you do not have to panic or do anything for the examinations. From day one, if you take the reading part seriously, good to go. All the revision pertaining to the assessment is done in the class. So there is zero involvement where you and the child is concerned for such a sort of a preparation, because see, it's a language. Honestly, you should be prepared to give a test any given day, because it is a way you speak. It's not something I can mug and then put it out. So please, even if you feel that we had a late night, or if the child is not ready, just let the child give. It has to be spontaneous more than a mugged up affair. Yeah. And of course, after the exams, there are open days wherein we can meet and understand the progress of the child. Yeah, I start work at 8:30 and I end by 8:30, so I might not be available to talk during the day. I try to message as quickly as possible, but after 8:30, I will revert to your calls or your messages or your doubts or whatever you have. So I'm not ignoring you throughout the day, okay? Even videos. I'll be able to post the videos after 8:30 p.m., because that's when class ends, and then I'm free enough to share the same with you. Grade ones are really small. Please drop them up and pick them up. I cannot send them down alone, because there are times when you might reach, you might not get parking. Still, I cannot send them alone. They are not allowed to use the lift alone below 12 years of age. So please ensure that someone's there. In case you have a help or someone coming to pick the child, please let introduce me first, so that I'm aware and know who's coming to take the child. Because look, you'll have find a lot of friends eventually. It's a very small world. So if one friend runs, the other follows. And if you are taking someone else's child, please inform me about the same, so that I'm kept in the loop. If you have any more doubts or questions pertaining to this, please feel free to throw it at me. And all those are late, I can send you the recording. Yeah.
Actually, I just need the timings
Oh,
because I just
I'll forward you the schedule again. That's not a problem.
and
Anything
whoever
else?
your
Let's share
contact
the
so that we
contact.
can share the numbers later.
Absolutely. No, I mean anything pertaining to the studying part, if there is any doubt.
My child is, he doesn't speak much English.
That's
He
okay.
used to speak Gujarati more
I
and
understand.
he's not good in writing also. So will he be able to cope up?
Yes, see, right now your child is in senior KG, too
Yeah.
small to for you to decide that okay he doesn't like writing, but definitely the child once the child gets confident, then they enjoy. Right now, why they don't enjoy is because they find it too hard because they don't understand what they are doing. But if the child knows, okay, this is what I can do, and if you appreciate that, wow, today you use this word with me, trust me, they'll be like rockets, because to show off is a lot of fun, and we encourage that. Like if you learn something new, you have to, talk to me this way. Like for example, say water. So when we learn a simile that okay, you know what, my throat is as dry as a desert, I want some water. So then that becomes a rule of the class. Anyone who wants to have water will have to ask me like that. So when you encourage somebody to go to learn something in a natural way, that helps more from that rather than no, you have to study it like that. If you don't keep that mentality, they will. It's like watching a cartoon, and we use a lot of cartoons when we are studying. So pictures will live with them, but words they might forget the minute they step out of the class. So pictures really help, and we also try. We also have certain OMO assignments. OMO is where they have to write on their own. So sometimes you are sent these 1 2 minute cartoon videos, okay, where they watch the cartoon video and then they write about it. So that is what we tell them, that you all are authors and authoresses, that this is your own story you created. So if you have these different techniques to motivate, you really watch your child change, because this grade 1 2 are perfect ages to start with something like that, because later on it becomes more study oriented rather than fun oriented, that way. And try to be regular, because they're getting used to this something new, and that will also help, that way.
So now they're doing only the three-letter words and four-letter words in their school in Beacon High. So will they be able to like
I
cope
will
up?
be there. Comprehension always. I read with them. So that it A develops fluency. B, because they have to participate in the answering. They all are into it. So with time, because and we do multiple comprehensions. There will be a point of time you'll be like, "Kitna comprehension worksheet aa raha hai?" Because they don't read. It's really important to help them push. And then eventually they evolve, they get used to it more than you have to do it, otherwise I'll complain to teacher or school told you. There has to be a different way to deal with it rather than trust everything that in a have to manner. So I will be there. So eventually, that's what I'm saying, whatever even we are doing in class, it's important that books should be read. If you open it at the last minute, no, you're wasting your child's cognitive years, to be honest. So that is something which I wouldn't be, of course, I do tell them in class, but how our teacher said, okay, we heard from one year, it's gone from the other year. But if you are aware of it, this is one area where I need your cooperation. The rest is all on me. Not doing the homework, troubling to study, just put a WhatsApp. I'm only going to say come 1 hour early outside and sit. Nobody wants to come to an education center and sit early. So that's on me. Because mothers normally, the kids don't listen. So if you feel at any point the child is troubling you and saying, no, I'm not going to write, I'm not going to do this, just message me. Yeah. And the day homework or something is not done, you'll be automatically